What's up, TT5K101 here, and welcome to a new series on my channel. Yeah, that's something that you don't really hear that often on my channel. But yeah, it's a new series, F1 2014 Co-op Championship, with my teammate from last year, Rickster. So just before, well, we were actually thinking about doing a Skype conversation, Skype, so we could do live commentary during the race. But unfortunately, Rickster, at the time of this video, had a sore throat, and he said that he literally cannot speak. So he said that he couldn't do any commentary or anything like that with me. So I just decided to do some post commentary. And yeah, it's a bit of a shame, but hopefully in the next race in Malaysia we will be able to get full commentary back on. Well, not back on, but yeah, full commentary, both of us live on the race. So we will be racing in the Williams, and obviously we were thinking about racing for the Mercedes, but obviously just knowing how quick they are in the game, we just thought that would be too easy, so we decided to, well, it was a decision of Force India, McLaren and Williams, and we thought out of those three, Williams would be better because they're pretty much on all of their own team. Well, they went with third fastest, and they're pretty, they could compete with the McLaren and the Force Indies, and possibly the top three teams, Mercedes, Red Bull and Ferrari. So yeah, it'll be very interesting to see what happens, as you shall see in this video. So without any further ado, let's look at my fastest quality lap of the Chilean Grand Prix. So we are now on just entering the third sector in my second flying lap, and currently I am 13th, 131.3, and sandwiching, well, between the Toro Rossos of Kvyat, 12th and 14th Verne, and I think Rickster was third at this time, I believe, and just looks like Hamilton passed. As we go around the second to last corner, and this corner is an absolute pain. I'm running no assists, and just the torque, look at that, just lost it completely as we go into this fastest, finishing, start my lap, so into 7th gear now, probably not changing to 8th, no, I'm keeping it 100 meter board. Nice apex, trying to balance the throttle as much as possible, trying to avoid any or oversteer at all. But the problem with this is that the AI apparently can just go full throttle and have no oversteer whatsoever, so it kind of makes it unfair, and you do lose quite a lot of speed if you oversteer, and obviously if you have to go slowly. But it just makes it really interesting, makes it really challenging, and yeah, that's what I like about the physics in this game. And as you can see, we are into the second sector now, 3/10 up from my fastest lap, which is rather surprising considering what happens at the start of the lap. And we go and lost the view a little bit in the entry. Yeah, just balancing throttle as I said before. Yeah, just long left hand. We actually saw Massa oversteer at the start of the season, well, actual season. We lost a couple of hundredths. We down to 2.260 of a second. As Vettel posted fastest lap, and was going to the last couple of corners. A bit of traffic, but I don't think they will affect me that much. As we're going into the second to last corner now, touching the apex beautifully there. And hopefully we will get a good exit. Let's hope so. Oh, bit of oversteer. Oh, managed to make it absolutely perfectly. 6th gear into 7th, and we managed to put it into 11th. And look how close that is between me and Sergio Perez. As far as I can see, that's 3,000th of a second, and missed out on 10th place by, I believe, was around, well, it looks like a 10th. No, it looks like 2/10 in fact. So a bit of a shame, and just which makes me question what would have happened if I didn't make that mistake at the start of the lap. So yeah, it's a pretty normal session. So Vettel in first, seconds, and well, Rickster in third. So at least he's doing pretty good for Williams. I'm in 11th, which you could say was similar to what Williams was at the start of the season. Obviously the cars are quite hard to handle because of well, it's the start of the season, and obviously they do develop as the season progresses, just like real life and yeah, just making up bullshit to my engineer, saying, "No, it was Maldonado's fault." So yeah, hopefully the car will improve a lot as we go through the championship. And yeah, so let's go on to the race. So at this point of the first race, I'd sort of cocked up a little bit. Me and Rickster agreed before the start of the season that we will be doing a 50% races. But as you can see, it's a 15 lap race, which means that it's a 25% race. And I was a bit of a rush setting up the lobby, and we have still yet to decide at this moment whether we're going to stick with 25% or if we're going to change it back to where we're supposed to be at a 50% race. So yeah, and it's pretty good. I mean, I don't know if it's a glitch or anything, but I heard it's because that there's no Q2. That apparently you can select any tire you want, even if you qualify in the top 10. Which is rather weird. Well, it's an online lobby. I haven't really checked it out on like career, well, co-op or career, whatever you want to say it. But yeah, we still need to decide on whether we're going to stick with 25% or 50, or go back to our original plan, which was 50%. 25% for me is easier to edit, obviously, because it's less footage, but 50% could make it a bit more interesting. Could put strategy more into play. And yeah, it's going to be a really interesting season. The start will be critical because it's quite hard actually to get a pretty decent start, particularly in a career race in F1 2014, because obviously with the amount of torques and the AI can literally go full throttle and have literally no wheel spin whatsoever. So it's going to be rather difficult. And Rickster's actually using the pad. And you could say that he's faster than me because he's using the pad and the wheel. If you haven't heard that, apparently the pad is a lot quicker than the wheel. So yeah. So we are on the grid now. 10th place is Jenson Button, behind me is Perez, and directly in front of me is Daniel Ricciardo. It's 5 laps now. And away we go. And it's a rather decent start, trying to balance the throttle, short shifting, more normal plan of 2013. Going into the first corner now, braking a little bit early just to avoid being slammed into Ricardo. Made it all nice and cleanly into 10th place as we go out of the turn 2 into turn 3, and I'm going to go the traditional GT lunge. And it always works in Australia, and look at that, up to 6th place. Going down turn 4 and we actually made it into 5th place. Look at that, 13th to 5th in the series of a few corners, and trying to catch up with Hamilton, and this is where it's going to get rather interesting, rather tricky. The fastest car on the grid with the best performance on from pre-season testing, and it's going to be really tricky to catch him up. And we've got Alonso behind me, and we've actually had quite a good battle, me and Alonso, which did sort of end a bit, well, unexpectedly, but you shall see what happens about that. So yeah, I'm just trying to maintain my gap between Hamilton and Alonso. I mean, in this part of the stint, as I tried to get used to, well, obviously I'm locking up a little bit there, actually running wide, which gives Alonso the chance to catch me up. And you can still see those 3 arrows now. And apparently the AI is supposed to be better at overtaking, but it's the same about what happened in 2013. When they try to overtake you, they just keep driving straight behind you, but they don't actually move over for the overtake. I mean, look, okay, I moved over back to the racing line, but Alonso, like, he just slows down. I mean, why wouldn't he move over and actually take the overtake into the first corner? Well, why am I complaining? I don't want to be overtaken anyway. 5th place is brilliant. As we can see, the Ricksters in fact overtook Vettel and Rosberg, I believe it was, in 2nd place. So Hamilton, unless Hamilton had a pretty bad start. As you can see, pretty big train of cars behind me. Was really big train of cars, in fact. So yeah, so this part of the stint wasn't that interesting. Then we skipped on to lap 5 now, and basically Alonso and me just kept on gaining time on me and then losing time, basically in the last corner because of the stupid traction. But yeah, I was getting used to it, but it's quite difficult, especially in worn options and especially on warm primes, as you shall see at the end of this video. So going into the second chicane, and look at that, there's like 2 cars, and listen, Rickster, look at Rickster, and I don't really know who that other car was, but there was a car buried in the tire wall, and the safety car should be on, but apparently that car hasn't been destroyed, which is rather weird, particularly he was quite close to the track. But yeah, Rickster, what happened to Rickster? Is the question you may ask, if you were asking. But apparently he got into some bother with Vettel. Apparently he's in the Vettel what took him out, but unfortunately he doesn't have a capture card, or I don't think he does. So I didn't really see what happened. I only saw like the aftermath of it when the car just crashed. So which is a bit of a shame, but yeah, he's saying that Bill crashed him out, and this pretty much was the start of, well, the start of the what would be a rather full race for Rickster, and he just moved all the way down the grid. He had to pit for a new front wing, I believe, and was in fact at the bottom 10, which was rather disappointing, but you can't really do anything. I mean, Williams is an okay car, but we're running expert AI, not legend AI, just in case that AI would just overtake us all, even bridges and that. So, yeah. So we are stepping onto lap 7 now. Yeah, lap 7 now, and as we are, this is the time of the pits. So one and only pit stop, onto the primes, which is in fact the stronger tyre for me, for some weird reason. And it looks like Alonso is going into the pits, and as he is, me and Alonso are going into the pits at the same time, so this is going to be the battle of the pit stops. You would expect the Ferrari to be better at them and possibly be ahead of me as I am going into the pits as well. And it was a not bad pit stop, 3.7 seconds. They're slower, to be honest. I don't really know why, but I think the time starts as you actually go into the pit lane instead of when you actually stop, which is rather weird. I don't really know why we would do that. But anyways, going out of the pits now. Nobody in, well, Raikkonen, no, is it? No, I think it was right. Nah, was it? I don't know. No, it's Hamilton. What am I talking about? Hamilton was about for a second now, and we see the gap they've already pulled already on Alonso. And in fact, I actually explained that you may remember in my front row racing videos that I usually start on the primes. That's because I find that I'm more comfortable on the primes and the options. I mean, you wouldn't really expect that. You would expect drivers to be more comfortable on the options and only do it on the primes if they want to go quite a lot of overtaking to do, and they will have to stay at the track for longer. But for me, I feel faster on the primes, sometimes even faster on the primes and the options, which is rather weird. You wouldn't really expect that, as I said before. So yeah, in this part of the stint I was in fact gaining on Hamilton by a few tenths per sector, and in fact pulling away from Alonso by a few tenths per sector, but obviously apart from the final sector because that should be turned last corner. But it looks like Hamilton and Rosberg are in fact battling it out for second place. Good to see that the Mercedes are copying what they are doing right now. But hopefully Hamilton will overtake him. But yeah, it looks like Raikkonen is into the pits now, and it's going to be pretty tight. And in fact, I managed to make it way ahead of him as well as Alonso, so that's up into 3rd place now. And I knew at this point that I wasn't going to catch Hamilton and Rosberg, so I just thought, right, keep the fuel in standard, mix 2. I've got enough fuel to do mix 3 in the final lap, just in case it's needed. Take care of the tyres and make sure I stay off Alonso. And we shall see now as we are going into the final few corners, and this is going to be absolutely crucial. I need to nail these final few corners in the next lap in order to stay ahead of Alonso and get my first podium of the season in the first race. He's going into the second to last corner. I have to nail this last corner. It's going to be rather tricky in warm-up frames, and I'm oversteering. And I'm losing time, and Alonso is going to try to overtake me. I'm going to squeeze him on the pit wall. Oh my god, there's been a collision! I broke my front ring for some reason and I was spun. And Alonso has managed to survive it. and I'm in 6th place now. Hulkenberg, well, maybe make that 7th. But look at that, Alonso, lucky bastard. He has managed, I think he's around the 5th place right now. But oh man, I was gutted at this point. In fact, at this point, Rickster was in fact retired because he got a bit fed up and he got a penalty for crashing into Chilton for some reason. And in fact, he said that Chilton crashed into him and Rickster got the penalty for it. Dodgy penalty system again, Codemasters. Lapping Suttle now. In fact, Suttle was the only car to be lapped. And this is rather embarrassing going into this point. In fact, look at that. Suttle's in fact trying to gain on me. But he slows down now, knowing that he is in a slower car, and starts to cry. And as we are going into this long left-hander, slowly gaining on Hulkenberg. Look at that, Suttle's gaining on me again. But this is going to be crucial. I need to nail these. Need to nail this chicane. Oh, look at that! Oh my God, nearly hit Hulkenberg. And I'm catching Alonso slipstreaming, going from the inside into P5. Ricardo was possibly a little bit too far away, but we shall see what happens. The AI can make mistakes in this game. As you're going around the long, sort of long right-hander into the second to last corner. And nah, it doesn't look like that will be catching Ricardo. But after a horrific start of the final lap, and also losing my teammate, then with 5 laps to go in this race, 5th place is a very good result for GT Falcon 76 and Williams. Williams and GT Falcon 76 gets 10 points in the championship, behind Daniel Ricciardo. Kimi Räikkönen, look at Kimi Räikkönen in his return to Ferrari, he's got a podium, and obviously Mercedes has got one too. Yay. So we actually look at that, just Bianchi and Mark Ericsson 11th and 12th. Ericsson of course on his debut. Kamui Kobayashi 14th and his return to Formula 1. Pastor Maldonado 15th. Well, look at that, McLaren 16th for Jenson Button. McLaren's not doing well so far, but Williams, the team of the day, sort of, well for me anyway. And the disappointment of me doing being absolute belly and sort of squeezing Alonso a bit too much, and my engineer was also annoyed as well. Yeah. So that's the end of the Australian Grand Prix and the first race of the season. Not a good start to the season, if I'm honest, for me and Rickster, but hopefully things will be better in the next race in Malaysia. Hopefully we can get the Skype working again, and hopefully Rickster can feel able to do the commentary with me. But that's all folks, thanks for watching, like and subscribe. This has been GT Falcon 101, see you in Malaysia, and I shall see you there.